first of all, we had a absolutely lovely day, as we can see here. I've traded pretty much the same stuff this week. These five, Amazon, Palantir, Nvidia, Tesla, and Microsoft, haven't changed. I've been switching in and out here with like Meta, Google, Gold, pretty much all the other Mag 7 tickers. Today I got into Meta and I will show you why. Apple had a really good day, I just missed it. So, first things first, this morning I wanted to trade Tesla. Point blank. I mentioned it, it wasn't on Solanke's gappers list, but the reason why is because it didn't gap that much, right? So this is previous close, and if I draw another line, this was where it gapped to, and you can see it gapped down. It pretty much filled that gap and went back up. So I was watching that, right? I just want a red to green move. So I got in Tesla. If I mark my daily open, right? More times than not, people are going to take profit. So that's what I'm just waiting on. I'm waiting for that to happen, and I can go from red to green. So that is when I entered my Tesla. I took a small loss at first. So if you're looking at the 5, I entered when this went green. It's hard to see, but when this one candle, when it went green, so it opened here, it went up and it came back down. When it went green, I got in. When it went red, I got out. Okay. And then this next candle, it went poked down and it came back through. So at the midpoint of the previous candle, the midpoint of this inside fiver, I got back in because I thought it was going to go 3, right? Because I was dead set on trading Tesla. I looked at the chart, drew my Brownian formations, etc., etc. Tesla's going to, show out. So this should change to entry around the 50% mark of that fiver candle. So when I want to trade something, when I've seen it, I've gone through it, I've looked at it, I know I want to take the trade, I try and get in on between the 3 and 5 time frames, right? The lowest time frame. If I just see something I'm like, this could happen today, you want to wait for a larger time frame. I would suggest everyone do that. I'm okay to take a few losses, get kicked out, get back in, that kind of stuff. If that's not your style, don't do it, right? Just wait for a higher time frame. 15er, perfect entry, right? The reason why I trade the way that I trade is because that's what? $2, a little bit more than $2 difference. That's a lot of money if you're trading 0 days, which I am. If you're trading next week, it's fine. Like it doesn't really affect your contracts too much, maybe 20% or something like that. But anyway, this is the smart entry on this 15er. This was an ad for me because I was already in the trade. So hope that makes sense. I was dead set on Tesla today. And that's why I mentioned it when it wasn't on Solanke's gappers list. But honestly, the way that he's doing gappers is the smartest way. 3% or more, then you really have the chance for something to move. So I'm in Tesla. We do very well, obviously. It hits the top of this broadening formation. I'm not going to zoom out, but you can draw your broadening formations. It hits the top of that and comes back in. Why is that not on the 15 chart? I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm not sure why I can't see that. But when it hit that, I don't know what is going on there. When it hit that, I got out of my 0 days, okay? Because more like any movement down is going to kill those contracts. So when it hit it on this candle, I got out somewhere in there. Sorry you can't really see that well. Regardless, let's talk about where I added and why. So got out there, I added here, and I had another ad on a 5 minute and a 15. So this was an ad for me And when I started doing these ads, because we're going later in the day, I got next week contracts. And I want to talk about, like, I had a bit of an issue with should I swing, should I hold? And I'll talk about why that was a problem for me. This was another ad I had here on the 5. Okay. So these last 2 ads, I can make this a little bit larger. So those last 2 ads, I was got in next week contracts. Okay, so I'm in the 300, the 295s for next week, on those 2 ads. So they're up pretty decently. Great. So Tesla traded today. Loved it, obviously. Meta also traded. Not as complicated. Just everything was really going right. Like I've talked about it time and time again. I like to watch this. I like to watch my faves here, and when 1 goes or 2 go, usually the rest of them are going. So I noticed that Meta wasn't really doing it, and it was putting in these inside hours. So I was thinking it was going to shoot out of the gate. It went up, but it didn't shoot out the gate. So I entered Meta here, which was fine, nothing crazy. And I'm swinging those contracts into next week. Let's talk about, I had a little bit of trouble with should I swing, should I not, and the reason why. So, I don't want to show you that. I find it maybe confusing to see. So, NVIDIA. Loved this trade today. I got kicked out a few times of my 0 days, which obviously in hindsight doesn't matter, but in the moment I was very annoyed. So, first things first, NVIDIA had a pretty decent morning, but I got caught in this. So I took this 5. Let me get out. Let me delete all of that. So I took this 5er because, let me back up. Sorry. This yellow box is a gap on the day. If I zoom out, you'll see it. I actually mentioned it in a previous video, that I wanted NVIDIA to flip the month green and fill this gap, right? I want to say I set it on Tuesday. So I know that if I'm in this yellow box, I'm in the gap, and that's what I wanted. So usually though, gaps are tested and then they're filled, and that's what happened here. I entered on this 5 because I wanted to fill the gap so badly. I entered 110 0 days, and I entered 115 tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, next week expiry. This entry, I still think it's a great entry. I just held too long. I've made a few videos about I'm holding too long, and I don't know if it's hope, I don't know if it's ego. I really just need to set a stop loss and walk away. But regardless, I got into 110s. I think they were like $17 each. Bought a few of those. Obviously it goes up. I should have taken that like 25%. But you think it's going to go up. Why would you take it? So it comes back down, and then like, because it's a 0 day, I'm pretty sure I lost like 30% on that trade. So that kind of pissed me off. I kept the 115s because I do believe NVIDIA is going to go up, right, at this point of the day. Great. I do that. No issue. I get back in to 115s here. Sorry, to 110 0 days here. It goes up. I again don't take my profit. So like, obviously this is a me problem. It flips the month, which is like, hello. Most times when you have something like this, it's going to hit it, it's going to retest, and then it's going to keep going. Or it's going to hit it and it's going to reject, right? I'm in a 0 day, so this is the obvious take profit section. What do? I hold till like, I don't know when, but I took a loss on this trade from here to here. Should have taken that profit. I didn't. Take another loss on a 0 day. But here I re-entered 0 days, and I added to my 115s, right? So now I'm pretty decently in 115s. I have about 40 contracts of the 115 for next week, and then I have like 10 0 days on NVIDIA. I do fine. I get out like around here, so that was like a 20% gain on my 0 days. But again, it was just like, I know I can't always get the top, but I need to figure out a better exit strategy on a 0 day contract even though I think things are going to go up. So I don't know how to do that, but that's what I'm going to be working on. But regardless, I'm adding to my 115s as we're going, right? I don't take this fiver because only God knows. But I believe there was a 15 entry. Yeah, okay. I took a 15 because I had taken so many losses. That's why I didn't recognize the 5. Okay, I'd taken so many losses and just like I got kicked out so many times of these 0-day Nvidias that I had to go up a time frame, right? Because what's happening is half the time it's not that the entry is terrible, it's just that 5 minutes isn't long enough for it to do what you want it to do, right? It's like down, up, down, up, down, up, right? So if you just wait for a higher time frame, you have less of that volatility. I think everyone knows that, but this is also me talking to myself, right? So I waited for a higher time frame entry to get into my 0 days, and that allowed me to hold them longer. So this 122 on the 15, I get into a 0 day, and that's when I posted the GIF about my 0 day entry. So at this point, this was about, I want to say let me pull it up. Okay, so the 110s I paid 29 cents for, and I sold them for 162. So that was this run, which was pretty decent. I think they went even higher. Let's see how high they went. Not that you care, but this is my video. Let's see, Nvidia. Yeah, they went to almost $2. Okay, cool. So anyway, I got out of that, and now I'm just holding. Oh, so we got here, and now I'm in like I'm at like 40 contracts of the 115s, and I'm like, they're decent, right? They're doing well. And the reason why I was unsure if I should hold over the weekend or get out is because I was up so much, right? I was up like 130-ish% when I asked the question, and I was about to fill the gap, I want to say. We filled the gap and we just kept going. So for me, I'm totally okay to swing a contract that's like between, if it's under 75% gain, like let's swing it. But we was up, right? And it went all the way up to about 200%. And I still had so much time left on the contract that I was just unsure what to do. And so for me, I think I may need to add a rule about how much profit am I willing to, lose. I mean, this could, let's see, on Monday, right, we could just gap all the way back down to this entry, right? And that would really affect the price of my contract. So you just never know what's going to happen. And so for me, it was the amount of profit that I was seeing made me feel nervous and unsure. And really, that's a tall tale sign that you're over leveraged in the trade. So you should be getting out, taking profit. I know that if I had lost that profit, I would have felt really terribly. And that's just a great sign. Like if you're feeling those nerves, you're over leveraged. So anyway, I took profit whenever I did. I can't remember, but now I'm only in the 115s for next week. I feel good about it. I'm not nervous. If it comes down, it comes down. It'll be fine. So first of all, I appreciate everyone answering my question who did in the chat. And I feel pretty good about that. Other things that I traded, Amazon, I mentioned in the chat, I'm in the 220s for next week. I also did some 0 days here because it was just super fun. I couldn't resist this double inside hour. And I did some 0 days on Palantir. I am also in the 115s for next week, which I think I mentioned. Oh, I'm in the 113s and 115s next week, which I think I mentioned in the chat. There was like an inside 15 and an inside 30. I took an inside 15 and it kind of went against me for a minute, but not too long. I want to say it was this one. Yeah, where this yellow line is. So I took this inside 15 and went back to that trigger, but I wasn't too concerned. And then obviously it went to the sky with everything else, which was also this inside 30, right? So that was pretty great. Obviously Tesla's been great. I have some that I'm swinging. In hindsight, I obviously wish I would have traded SPY, but you know, that's fine. And then on Microsoft, I took a 15, I believe. Sorry, this video is getting quite long, but I rewatched these myself as well, so it's good to know what I traded. Yeah, I took this inside 15. Microsoft just didn't move the way that I wanted it to. It moved yesterday, and I was really looking forward to an aggressive continuation. I just didn't quite get that comparatively along the market. Like, obviously yesterday was a great day. I think I mentioned it not early morning, but in the morning. So we rode that up. I did swing some Microsofts, took a little bit of profit, but added to that on the 15 that I showed you, which was here. But yeah, so that's what I traded today. Pretty pleased. Let me make sure I mention everything. Amazon, Palantir, yeah, Tesla, blah, 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 blah. And Meta. Yeah, I took that hour on Meta. I didn't trade gold. I guess in hindsight, I wish I traded everything, but I'm just not sure how gold moves at a time like this. I understand that it's sort of more of a defense stock. So when the market's going down, gold makes sense, but now I'm not sure how to trade it. So looking at this though, probably a decent swing over the weekend. You have a fail 2 down and a gap. But gold is, you know, all-time highs are just right there. So who knows? I am not going to put any more money into the market over the weekend. But yeah, that's what I did today. I feel pretty good about it. Definitely was reminded of a few things with this Nvidia trade. Oh my God, look at Palantir. But yeah, you know, that feeling of like, oof, should I not? I don't know. It's not really one of my normal downfalls. So to feel it today was, you know, I didn't like it. So it's just a great reminder that I was over leveraged in the trade, and to take my profit. I'm happy with what I took. And yeah, I mean, I would love to keep answering questions and talking about this stuff with you guys. Like, it is really helping me to speak over my trades and figure out why I'm doing what I'm doing and when and why and how and all that kind of stuff. And I really appreciate the people who have reached out to me or even mentioned that the videos are helping them. They're also helping me, and that gives me, you know, the confidence to sort of just keep doing this. I don't know if self-conscious is the word, but I definitely feel like a little shaky on it, in terms of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and all that kind of stuff, and sharing it to the people watching. So I appreciate that. And yeah, let's just end the video here. It's quite long, and I hope everyone has a lovely weekend and gets to swing a few things that pays them on Monday, and we'll get back after it.